Hello everyone, myself Pallavi Patil from Praveen Patil College of Diploma Engineering and Technology. In last video, we saw the Unit 2, that is installation and configuration of Android. In that, we saw the what is operating system, types of operating system. In this video, we will learn what is Android development tools and Android virtual device. Let's see what are the outcomes of this video. Learner will be able to understand Android development tools, Android virtual device, emulators, DVM, difference between JVM and DVM. Let's see the first Android development tools. The Android development tools, there are the three types like Android Studio, Virtual Studio and Eclipse. The first, that is Android Studio. In Android Studio, no list of Android development tools will be complete without Android Studio. This is officially IDE, that is Integrated Development Environment for the Android, for making it the number one choice for the majority of developers looking to make a basic app with Google material design with the access to all the advanced feature of the platform, that is Android Studio. The next is a Visual Studio. The Visual Studio is a Microsoft IDE which support a range of language including the C Sharp, VB, .NET, JavaScript and more with extension. Now the comes the bundle in. It's also possible to create cross-platform app using Shisha and the test on multiple device connected to the cloud. The next one is the Eclipse. The Eclipse is a foundation home to global community. The Eclipse IDE over the 350 open source project including the runtime tools and the framework which used to develop the Android application. The different steps of the Eclipse IDE, that is install the JDK, then download and install the Eclipse for the developing Android application. Then download and install the Android SDK, install the ADP plugin for the Eclipse, configuration of the ADP plugin, create the AVD, then create the Hello Android application. These are the Android development toolkit. The next, Android virtual device. In Android virtual device, create and manage the virtual device. AVD, that is Android virtual device, is configuration that define the characteristics of the Android phone, tables, Wear OS, Android TVs, and automotive OS device that use want to simulate in the Android emulator. The AVD manage is an interface you can launch from the Android Studio that help you create and manage the AVD. First, how to manage? To open the AVD manager, do one of the following, like select tools, AVD manager. Click AVD manager icon in the toolbar like this. The next, now click the create virtual device button. This will bring the virtual device configuration dialog box. Select any device you want, then click the next. Now we need to choose the Android version for emulator. You might to also need to download it first by clicking download. After you have choose the version, click next. Enter the name for your emulator and initiate the orientation and whether you want to display the frame Android. After you choose all this, click finish. Now you got new AVD ready for the launching your apps on it. It's a create and manage the virtual device. The next, emulator. What is the emulator? In a computer, an emulator is a hardware or software that enable once a computer system called as a host to behave like another computer system, like called as a guest. Emulator typically enable the host system to run the software or user peripheral device designed for the guest system. In Android emulator, they simulate Android device on your computer so that you can test your application on variety of device and Android API level without needing have each physical device. The emulator provide almost all the capabilities of real Android device. You can simulate incoming phone calls and text messages, specify the location, the device, simulate different network speed, simulated rotation and other hardware sensor, access the Google Play Store and the much more. The next is a internet process on the Windows Linux, means internal process without support the Intel VTX. Next, AMD process on Linux, AMD process with the support for the AMD virtualization. The next AMD process with Windows is Android Studio 3.2 is a higher and Windows 10 April 2018 release on the higher for the Windows Hypervisor platform. This work actually Android 8.1 and higher system image. The next, launch the Android emulator with without first running app. To start the emulator, open the AVD manager and double click on the AVD or click run. The Android emulator load. While the emulator is running, you can run Android Studio project and choose the emulator as the target device. You can also drag one or more APKs onto the emulator or install them and then run them. These are the Android emulator without first running app. The next, next is a DVM. DVM means Dalvik Virtual Machine. The Dalvik Virtual Machine is the Android virtual machine. Is optimized for the mobile device. Is optimized a virtual machine for the memory, battery life, and performance. The DAX is a compile convert the class file into the .dex file that run on the Dalvik VM virtual machine. Is multiple classes class file for are the converted into the one text file. Let's see the compiling and packaging the process for the source file. The Java tool is compile the Java source file into the class file. The Java C tool is a compile the Java source file into the class file. Let's see this. This is a diagram of the DVM. The DX tool take all the classes file for your application and generate a single .txt file. It is a platform specified tool. And next, the Android asset packaging tool handle all the package process. This one. The next is a difference between the JVM and DVM. The first DVM, that is a Dalvik virtual machine, and JVM Java virtual machine. The first, it is a register base which is designed to run on the low memory, and JVM, it is a stack base. The DVM use the own bytecode and run .dex file from the Android 2.2 SDK Dalvik has got just in time compiler. And JVM use a Java bytecode and run the file having JIT, that is a just in time. The DVM has been designed so that a device can run multiple instances of the VM efficiently. Applications are given their own instance. Single and JVM is a single instance. For JVM is a share with a multiple application. DVM support Android operating system only, and JVM support multiple operating system. For Debian, very few retools are used available. The JVM, many retools are available. The in a DVM, there are the constant pool for the every application. In JVM, it has constant pool for the every class. In DVM, here the executable is APK. In JVM, here the executable is a jar file. This is a difference between the JVM and DVM. Thank you, dear students. This is the Unit 2, Part 2 PPD. In next video, we will see the remaining part of Unit 2. Student, you have any doubt regarding this session, yes, this video, note down your queries. We will solve your doubt, your query in upcoming online session. Thank you.